Hey, what's up everyone? Today I'm gonna be showcasing how to root this box, Bluesmoke Devrandom2 from VulnHub. I hope you guys like it. As you can see here, the goal is get 4 flags and become root. So, well, I'm working on VMware and I have the box on VirtualBox. I had to set up a network adapter, but I'm sure, well, if you're running the same issue, I'm sure you can Google it and you'll find out the answer. Now, I don't know why, I don't know if this is normal. I can only have one network adapter here in my Cali at once. So if I want to switch to internet connection, I have to cheer. So if I have a reverse shell over netcat, I'll probably lose it. But if I have an SSH connection, it'll wait for me. So that's it. So here you can see the network discovery. Here we have an IP. I'm gonna just define a variable because I don't want to be tapping it all over again every time I wanna scan it or something, right? So I'm gonna go with this nmap pn in order to assume that it's already turned up like the machine. I'm gonna be with a service scan and a default strips scan, and I'm gonna disregard the DNS resolution and make it verbose. Also timing 5 to speed it up, and the T I'm gonna be saving it to nmap and a file called general. So let's see what's up. We can see we have port 80, port 22, that's all. So we can go for it. Look at this, we can see the title, the supported methods, get ahead post options. What else? OpenSSH 7.9 P1. That's all right. And here it is. We have this. This is interesting. It says, please upload your tar or zip file. We will check the files and add it to our backup system. So when I saw this, the tar thing, well, actually zip too, but I've worked this with tar. It made me think of Oh, of the file. If this is a backup system, there's probably a cron job running on the system, like manipulating the files we upload. I've seen that you can inject some command arguments to the tar file, to the tar command, which is interpreted as a file and executed as a command argument to execute basically whatever you want. You can Google. As I mentioned, I don't have internet connection. That's okay. I just prepared this for you. You can look for something like privilege escalation using tar. That's it. You will find out later that you can use wildcard injection. This is what we'll see right now. But what is the vulnerability? We'll see it later. But the thing is that for example, if the system in a cron tab is using tar like cbf to tar files up, and it uses this, then it will take every file, right? But what if a file is named like this, whatever, right? Then this will be executed as a command line argument, right? So let's see that. This is basically what this pause talks about. You can actually find it as well on Hacktricks, the hacking Bible, and these are the instructions. So let's do that just now. We are going to be, let's go to exploits. We're going to be creating this file. You see, you cannot, but we can just add up dot and a slash here, and that's fine. Look at that. Also this one. And there you go. Now let's check the main pages for tar. Let's see the checkpoint and checkpoint action. If we look here for checkpoint, we'll see that checkpoint displays progress messages every nth record. By default extent, like every 10 files will do something. We're gonna be specifying it as 1. And when that hits, it's gonna be executing an action. Now, in this case, an action will be to exec with sh a script.sh, which we're going to be creating just now. Right, so nano sh, let's just go with the shebang. Let's generate a pretty basic reverse shell. Dash -i for interactive mode. If TCP. Let's go over 4444 for demonstration purposes, just only. And that's it for now. Okay, so we have this three actually let me open my Timix. And I'm gonna be to exploits and let me do this. Okay. I'm gonna be creating a 4444, right? Okay, so here we are. We have three files and we're gonna tar them up. So cvf, we're gonna be using test. Let's use this test.tar. Let's tar is checkpoint. Tar for that checkpoint equals 1. Another one would be checkpoint action, this one, and the last one will be shell. Let's do that. They're tarred up. Got. Here we are, test. Now let's copy this test to our downloads folder just to make it faster. Now let's try to upload that to see if it works. It should. This is I want to stress here. It would be the very first thing a pen tester would try when checking or when seeing something like that. See the file like backup. It just rings a bell, right? So yeah, test start. Upload it, see what's up, and file is successfully uploaded. Let's wait a minute and see if it works or what. Obviously, since this is a CDF, I'd like to check this kind of images in case they're hiding some kind of information behind, like metadata or steganography messages like hidden. Yeah. There you go. We received our connection back. Let's see what's up. Let's see what happened here. All right. Let me just execute script def null and c bash. Then I'm gonna be control z to suspend it, stty raw minus echo fg the foreground, and reset the x term. That's stty raws 45 columns 189. Remember, you can check this out with stty size. Wow. Didn't know this. I think that was my last computer, so yeah. 23, that's good. Why is this? Because if you want to use nano whatever, okay, export, let me see if this works. Export term, x term, nano s, there you go. You have the whole screen. Otherwise you would see like until this, because it's the default machine's resolution. Look at that. That's it, nothing else. Okay, here we are. Of course, there's a lot of mess in here. You want to erase these, like delete this in the cleanup phase of your engagement. Well, look that they are using backupper as probably the user who is running the cron job that manipulates the backed up files. But the actual user that is running the website is www tag data, that we cannot do anything but read to these files, right? So maybe if we get to another user, or maybe root, we can get to erase them. We should, but yeah. Okay, so let's get back one directory. And let's read that upload, shall we? And well, I can see something interesting right away, which is if the message is successfully uploaded, which we had like here, um there are two, like, well, I see more than two commands, but yeah, two shell exec functions executing commands. So first off, it's cdn itself into uploads. It's tarring, look at this, into a new file name, which must be a variable over here. I don't know, we'll see it later. And a directory, okay. And here is again cdn itself into uploads folder. It's grabbing and like removing the coincidence that matches anything with .html, with .php, index.php, .tar, .zip, and it's removing everything that it's not, that doesn't matches this, doesn't match this, right? And echoes upload here, so uploads. Okay, I think that would be a directory we would have found with Fuzzer, but there's no more content that upload. It's like broken or something. But that's all right. What else? Okay, pretty basic website, and we can start enumerator, right? Like, let's see how many users are here. We can grab. Actually, I like to egrep with sh and the $sign. Remember, the $sign in regex is for a string that ends with this. So here ends, right? So bash. And why do I use this? Because there's not only bash in Linux systems. There are also rbash from restricted bash or sh itself, or as the sh, right? But it's fine. So we have jab, backcover, remedy. So US Open Tester, here's one issue here right away. You should not use like users with shells and home folders like a regular user, right? To execute system tasks like this, because look at this. Even if, I mean, we would have hacked this anyway, if we would have gotten access to www data, maybe it would have been harder to escalate our privileges. But since we are a user, we have a lot more possibilities right here, right? So that's one issue. And we can go to home folder. Now let's check this. We can just go to our directory, and we see here a flag. No, let's read this, like echo base64 tag d for the code, and again base62 tag d for the code, and there's here. That's weird. I don't see anything interesting in this. We can cat readme, nothing here. Okay, now we have a SSH folder. Let's just read that. That is interesting. Before that, let's start enumerating from the root files with the sticky bed set to the user field, right? So let's try that. And we see mount gpass.ld. Well, I don't see anything of interest. Let's try get cap here. Def null. It doesn't execute. That is weird. It should be, well, our path, it's pretty short. Why don't we just echo path and exclip it like here and export in path to make it bigger, like this. Now if we echo path, we'll see a lot of more options. Now what about using which with getCap? Now we have it. So let's use this devnull, cabinet raw, nothing vulnerable so far. Why don't we see the cron tab? There's nothing being executed here, but we can actually also here in vars pull cron tabs, and we do not have permissions. Okay, let's check maybe port open. And look at this. We have SSH. We say well SSH and Apache, which are externally open, but we also have 25 for SMTP, simple network. SMTP simple. Oh, SMTP simple manager network protocol. I don't know. I forgot the name, but it's something like that. So what does that mean? Telnet 127 for localhost and 25. Look at this. If this would have been opened on, well, externally, we would have been able to enumerate users. How you would do that? Like, let me check this. Like, help maybe help. Well, you have several commands like hello. Wow, I forgot several commands. Uh, well, if you check it out on hack tricks like SMTP enumeration and all this stuff, you would see a lot of commands available. One of them is verify, like this. If you use verify, you can start enumerating users. Sometimes some SMTP services doesn't have VRFY available, but they have others like SMTX, something like that. You should definitely check it out. But yeah, so root. What about if we have this? It doesn't exist, right? And we have verified JAP. Of course, it does exist. So yes, that's good method. Another one, and in order to leak like this, I mean, this is probably a bad idea. Like it's leaking internal domain. We should try to mail to, for example, root. Now, let's try backupper. So yeah, mail from backupper. Okay, and RCPT from receipt 2. And notice you don't need to use those square brackets, sorry, or greater than, left, lower than signs. I don't know what's the name, but yeah. So let's try tester. I think it like that. No, it doesn't exist. Look at that. RCPT2. What about root? It does exist. Look at that. Probably we're being able to impersonate other users, so that's kind of weird. But anyway, you can now take data and start like writing this like test. This is just a test, whatever. To end it, just a point. And that's it. And you can exit. What was the command? I don't know, but in Telnet you can press like this key with control. So if you do this, then you can close. And of course, every time you have SMTP server running on your system, you should look for var mail and these files. Look at that. I want to say something here is that by default you didn't have the root file here. It just created because we sent an email. So we can start reading that. Of course, we do not have access, so let's read ours. Now look at that. Now I wanna WCL later 42,662 lines. We will be not definitely to able to read all of it, but we can just like take a look at it. Like, and upon scrolling up, I can see that everything is basically the same because backupper is sending an email to backupper. That is, we're sending an email ourselves. Probably. I don't know. And we are also receiving emails from root, which is a cron daemon with a subject cron. Like this is the actual cron tab. I want to read what this says just in order to understand what's happening here. But that's all right. Like, okay, I think I got it. Like I'm seeing index.php over here. Let me check that real quick. Look at this. Here is executing our reverse shell. Oh, got it. Yeah. Let me check something here. Look at this. Index.php. This was like minutes or seconds before our attack. They were just index.php, which was being filtered out by the rep command we saw before, and obviously not being removed, right? Now this is the very first moment when it all um got went wrong, right? When we uploaded our tar file, it looked like the system hashed it in an MD5 format, and then well the bin bash this was executed, and there was in shell.sh and all this stuff. So if you wanna clean up, like, you can do log tampering, which is try to remove this. Okay, like maybe resetting this log or this mail message from basically here, from here until here, which was the last message we received from the moment the attack was done. Okay, so what's one thing? And that is, okay, that's interesting. So let's read known hosts. And known hosts makes me think that this user backupper has contacted before with other users, either locally or remotely with SSH. Right? So why don't we try to use, okay, so once again, pass.id and grep hack sh here. SSH, let's try to SSH into, for example, Remedy with that private key. And it asks for a password, which we don't have, which, well, we could brute force it though, but yeah. What about JAB? And it asks us for a passphrase. What does this mean actually? Look at this. It asks, when we tried with Remedy, it asked directly for a password, right? But here it asked for a passphrase first. That's, well, that makes me think that JAB like has our ID RSA.pub or public key in his authorized keys file, which we do not have, which we could inject ourselves to generate persistence on the system, but that's fine. You can just do it yourself. Yeah, so that is interesting. So let's try first like doing this ncmvlp. We're going to be listening on port 555, and we're going to be outputting the content we received to ID RSA, whatever it is, right? And let's cat ID RSA, and let's send it to dev tcp 192.168.56.101 over port 5555. Okay, refused. What happened there? 5555. Isn't that, yeah, that's RP, right? Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on, to be honest. Try again with nc mvlp 5555. Oh, there you go. I don't know what happened there. All right. Oh, it didn't. Well, yeah. IDRSA. Maybe that was the reason. I don't know. There you go. If we do this, like we have already our private key. Now look at this. When a key has something like this, like begin RSA private key encrypted, yes, it's encrypted basically. So we could use SSH to John with this the RSA and TST to save it to a command. Like when you do this, look at this, when you do a redirection, you won't see the output. When you use T, you will see the output, the application or the command or whatever will keep running, and you will see it. And on the run, it will save it on the file. That's the difference. So we can use now John with hash and use a word list like user share will instruct you. Right. I I forgot about this. Obviously, I already did it, like when I did the machine, so we can use hash. It should last like 5 seconds until you can get it. So we have this. It's a method one. Okay. So why don't we try to SSH ourselves into Jap's account again with Samantha1, and there you go, Jap. We have now pivoted laterally into another user's account. So yes, cat readme. There's a 1. I don't know what that means. No idea, to be honest. And a flag. When you do the last trick we did, you'll see it is the very same message. So that's, I don't know. Let's read bash on a history. We have Sue. Okay. What else? We have, of course, SSH. Let's look at this. And look at this. If we cat SSH and authorized keys, we will see we have two two public keys here, backuper. This is the reason why we could SSH in ourselves into this account. And another one which doesn't have any user, which is weird. I don't know, maybe it's another user, probably the other user's Remni, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that's okay. Of course, if we are in a penetration testing engagement, we will want to exfiltrate all these keys in order to generate persistence on the system. Imagine that you only generated persistence on one user, like a backupper. What if that person finds out? What if that person changes its keys? You will lose access. Maybe Jap didn't, so you still have access. Of course, this is one method, and in a real environment, it would be too useful because some security measures in place will find out about it. Or if the user is security aware, like has security notions, we'll find out. Okay, so Ben, cd bin, sorry, and we have something here interesting. Find. Look at this. We have a sticky bit here set to the user portion, and a sticky bit set to the group option, right? So other options, group option, like Remni can read only and execute as Remni, and well, the user itself option. So what about this? Let me see what I can do here. Okay, actually, let me just yeah, let me just cut here that SSH ID or say, is it like no, wait, let me, this is the method I outlined before. I'm gonna be copying my SSH key, or actually I'm gonna be creating SSH keygen. I'm gonna be generating a pair of SSH keys to generate persistence on Jap's account because I'm gonna switch to internet and I don't want to lose connection. As I mentioned, with SSH you won't lose if you lose internet connection, you will lose your shell right away. So TRSA B220 2048. And now I want it here, like home mapsec desktop VulnHub Bluesmoke exploits IDRSA. Oh, it does exist already. Oh, no. Once again, Let me just copy it. Like RSA jab. No passphrase and ID jab. Okay, so ID jab, ID RSA jab, dot pub, explicit cell clip. Let's cat, sorry, nano, SSH, no, authorized keys, and let's copy it here. All right, so use jab on for server with ID jab. Yep. Oh, I lost the variable value because of the tmx thing. So 105, and we should be inside. So cool. We're here in an SSH, and we're here in a regular reversal, and I can reversal, right? Okay, let's check this out right now. If we like okay, let me just switch the Ethernet. You can start looking for GTFO pins, right? And what about if we try with find? Look at this, and we have a SUID. Maybe we can try this. Actually, I'm not really sure. Well, I lost it. Yeah. So look at this. If we switch back to my other thing, now I can again. So what about this? Right. ID. Look at this. I'm jab, but I'm remedy too, right? I'm remedy too. And if I go to home, sorry, home remedy, I'll be able to read everything. Like I already escalated my privileges. That's cool. But anyway, this is not like the intended way, so let's do it the old way. Let's cut this part server.sh. Look at this. We have echo 1, temp start, and exit. Now I want to be but I want to tell you something. Every time, I mean, in every engagement, you should run, when possible, a monitor process, a process monitor like PSPy, right? When you run this, you will see the cron job running, the user who is running it, and of course, the final command, which is not the same as the cron job. The cron job will show something like RCBF, yes, for example, right? But the final command will show like parse.cbf, and let's say you uploaded 3 files. Well, file 1 tar, etc, etc, etc. You will see both of that. When you do that, you will find out, I will not do it for the time's sake, but you will find out that, and also remedy running some commands. If you wait long enough, you will see that like remny's account is actually grabbing for this, like for this file temp start with a contents of 1, right? So LA's temp, we do not see start. Now start server makes you think of a server, basically a web server probably. So if you ss.tul.wn, you will see nothing of interest, basically what we already saw. But what about if we create the file? Actually, well, we can execute something like watch to every 1 second. Check for this. Let's just wait a bit. If we see anything different, we should definitely we should. And look at that, thus we just got it right. We have an 8787 port open now. right? Which if we can curl, let me try that. Yes, we can. 17 localhost 8787. We'll see that it has content, right? Now, please do what I said if you haven't. Like execute pspy, look for GitHub pspy, and execute it. Okay, it's pretty easy. It's just a an executable. Give it execution permissions chmod plus x pspy, and that's it. Or follow the instructions. And you will find out that it's actually running a py command, so it's good to know. It's a Python web server. How else you could check this out? Like confirm with a tag I to see the headers. Look at this. It's a server with Xug and Python. Now worksuck usually has a console thing which we can test, but it looked like it doesn't this time, so it's fine. It's totally all right. Now we can start. Let's close this out. Exit. Reset extern. We're back in the game. Normally, we can start. We can forward this connection 8787 to our local machine to start testing things, to start looking for vulnerabilities. So let's do that with SSH. You can actually use Choosel as well. But let's try SSH just for the sake of demonstration. And we can have L for local port forwarding. And we can start 8787, 127, 127, 8787, and probably jab at 198, 168, 192, 168, 57, 105. Exploit ID reset jab. I think it is like that. I don't know. I don't remember now. Yes. So let me explain a little bit to you. So, okay, this is tag L for local port forwarding, and we'll be forwarding local 8787 port from here, from the local, that is Bluesmoke's local host, to our remote 8787 port. Now, jab account on this host with this RSA key and tag F and it's for, let's read it. Yeah, I don't see an option there. Let me just again F. Look at this. Request SSH to go to background just before command execution. That is, we're executing whatever command we have, that is local forwarding, and then we background it. Like, we don't have to have a connection, like two connections. That's not useful for us. And what about attack AM? Do not execute a remote command. Look at this. This is useful for just forwarding ports, right? So fn will do this. So if we go to this, like this one, look at that. We can start looking at text. So basically, this is a pretty control view, pretty basic page. There's literally just a title. So we can start fuzzing, right? So we can start with ffuf with tag C for colored output URL, which is going to be http localhost 8787, and we're going to be using a world like user shared their buster world directory to medium. I want to use 200 threads, and that's it. Actually, I did not specify the fuzz. There are several things you want to fuzz here. You can start fuzzing, of course, for directories. You'll find nothing. You can start, well, since that was a Python server, I would definitely look for .py files. Again, there's nothing. And well, you can obviously look out for a lot of other extensions, but in this case, you can also start looking for get parameters being sent out, right? So what if we what if there are being sent a parameter with a random value like test. We have a lot of false positives, so we want to filter out the size, fs, to do that, and 21. Now let's quit a bit. And look at that, we just found a parameter. So we can emulate that, like name. Sorry for that, there's a lot of noise that I tried before, but that's okay. Now let me just again switch here because I want to look for STTI on payload all the things with SSTI. Oh, this one. Let's open this up. Because when you're here, you want to test for a lot of things. First of all, you are getting reflection. You're seeing something here, you're writing something here, and you're seeing it back here. So what about if we test H2, oh no, sorry, H4, which is smaller. Well, that, sorry, let me just get that. Cool, so we have here, let me just switch back. This is all a mess, I'm sorry guys. VirtualBox is a hell for me right now. And I can start here. Once again, there you go. Oh, this was wrong. It's actually this. It's the same, but okay. So we have here HTML injection, right? What about XSS? What about alert, asked? What about like this? Look at this. We're getting cross-site scripting injection. Now you may ask, what can I do with this? How can I escalate my privileges or get a reverse shell, remote command execution, information leakage, whatever you want from here? The answer is you cannot. You cannot, because at the end of the day, cross-site scripting and HTML injection are just client-side attacks. That is, obviously, you could like hack the perspective of other users. Like, let's say that this is a bank, right? I don't know, and you do this like H2, and then you do this probably. I just try and do something like this. You've been hacked. Look at this. Okay, this is not being interpreted. Okay, what about if we try to use something like here, like well, I don't know HTML that well. I don't know, you can do literally a lot of things, like change like the facement, right? Like change the website color, the images, insert the images, a lot of things. And with XSS, you can steal cookies, you can do a lot of things, right? But you should check out for example, hack tricks injection, right? I would do that definitely, like checking here in the search bar, like injection. Of course, I don't have internet connection, but you'll eventually come up with SSTI, which you will try. And once you try, since we're on a Python server, you want to test that. So let's go to basic injection here, and I'm gonna click in case it once it goes down or something like that. I mean, here I have a basic injection here. Let's try that. And what about this? And that is useful and interesting at the same time. Look at this. 4 times 4 equals, sorry, got 4 times 4 equals 16, while this didn't got executed. This is just plain text, right? But this got executed. So if we do this, we get RCE, remote command execution. So we can do several things here. For example, if you scroll down a bit, you will be able to execute commands. For example, using this this one. So what about this? Are we able to? Yes, we are able to execute commands. We're executing the ID command, right? So that's cool. Do we have multi-word command execution? There's sometimes like wrong, but this time is cool. What about LSLA? Look at this. Of course, it'll look nicer on the view source page. Look at that. So yes, we do have remote code execution. Why don't we try to get a remote a reverse shell? Sorry. Cool. Let's do it from our machine itself, from Jobs account, right? Let's just nano index.html. You will see what I will do. I'm gonna be with a shebang. It's not an HTML file. Look at this. I'm gonna be again with the very same reverse shell we got before. I'll be going with TCP. Oh, this was like 127.0.0.0.1. Let's go over port 6666. And this one will work. All right. So, oh, sorry, which NC? Yes. So we can start an HTTP server running on the background. And in the meantime, let's open NCMVLP from 6666, right? And why don't we try, for example, to curl 127.0.0.0 over port 8000, which is the Python server. Now look at this. As of right now, it is interpreting as an HTML file, this one, because curl does that. But also, we can pipe the curl output to bash with no problem, and it should execute it. I'm happy. It's loading. It's executing it. And now we have a remote shell, Remni, right? Look at this. ls solid cd to script. Actually, let's ls tag la. And look, that else scripts is a link. Oh, I forgot the number. Name. A symbolic link pointing to rpt Remni scripts. So that is interesting. Every change we make to this folder will be reflected on OPT folders. CD scripts. Why can I? Oh, I'm already on. I'm already there. Okay, so there you go. We have star sh. Look at this. This is what I was telling you about. It's grabbing for the file name temp start, and if in a quiet or silent mode, and if it got to 1, then do something, which is Python 3 server.py. Let's read that server.py. And look at that. This is the vulnerable website we was testing against. Render template string template equals person is equal person, right? And yes, here's the name. By default is wall, but you can change it. Request args get. Obviously, there's no input validation at all, so that's one recommendation you will want to do in your report if you would face a situation like this, right? And what about server.conf? Okay, this looks like a hex dump. I can tell that right away. What about if we server.conf with xxd psr? This is binary code now, but we see like it's damaged. Like you can see a apostrophe here, an at sign here. This won't work well. So why don't we try to exfiltrate this? Now look carefully, because this is not a, I mean, if we exfiltrate data with NC like we did before, this is actually not a good idea. Okay, this will be a bad idea because it's sending like raw on the wire. It's not being encrypted. Of course, now we'll be showcasing that in later videos. You can set up a netcat connection over SSL with certificates in order to preserve the integrity of your client's files. But yeah, we're just training. This is a pretty easy box. We're just seeing what's up. Let's do that. Let's cat server.conf and send it to dev TCP 192.168.156 101 101 and on port whatever 7777. And from here let's see the content. Let's NC and P 7777, and let's forward it to us. Let's name it like that. There you go. So dumb. So X clip, set clip. Let's copy that because we're gonna be switching over to here to our cyber chef. I had it open here. And why is that? Let me just reload it. And why is this? Oh, let me switch back here. And why is this? Because you can do a lot of decryption techniques in here pretty easily, just like moving things around and stuff. So yeah, you can copy this. And look at this. I did not notice this file to connect to root service. So this is definitely something we want to check out. Of course, another recommendation would be to not use this like too much descriptive names or information on files. That is not a good practice. So okay, hex dump. This is no, it's not hex, it's hex dump. That is different. Now it's binary code. Let's look for that. From binary code. And there you go. Now this is an actual hex. So let's try this. Hex from hex. Oh, look at this. This looks like a this looks like base 64, right? Base 64. That is a possibility. And base 64 again, probably. Base 64. Oh, sorry. I was using two base 64. From base 64. And nope, it looks like it is not. But it's a rabbit hole, which is not. Try it again. Yeah, it's definitely not. So what I did when I did this the first time, I messed around a little bit with all this. There were a lot of trial and error, but I finally figured out that it was base 32. Now there is an actual way to difference them. I encourage you to Google it, right? Because I don't know it like off the top of my head. There's like base 60, base 32 only uses capital letters and all the stuff, while base 64 does not. So you want to tinker around. Look at that. If you use from base 64 now, we can see this. Now we have root password. Let's switch over for a minute. Here, once again. Let's see if it's still working. It is. Cool. So let's sorry, it's not like this. To root. Let's see if it works or what. Oh, it looks like it's not working, or I remember it worked. Oh, look at that. It looks like we do not have a shell, like a bin bash. Yes, we are root now. That's it. That's the machine for now. Root, cut, root that text. And there you go. That's a flag. So that's it for all, guys. I hope you guys liked it. This is just the very first video. I'll be trying to improve my performance, my speech, everything, and well, that's it basically. I hope you guys liked it, and see you later.